KTM's LC4 has been with us now since 1997, and even though it's based on the factory's competition bikes, they have made some gentle concessions towards making it more road biased than track biased. Now this is a serious motorcycle in a very silly way. Confused? Then let me explain. It's serious because it comes from a long line of barking black and orange off-roaders from KTM, and these have dominated off-road competition for years now. This means that in all of them, with the possible exception of the Duke, you get that barely distilled competition feel. So you can forget comfort for starters. There's a seat to sit on, but I challenge you to get much further than the end of the road before numb bum syndrome rears its ugly head. You can forget other handy essentials too, like a petrol tank that's going to take you much more than 70 miles before reserve, or a pillion seat that's going to keep the girlfriend happy for too long. But one ride on this bike is all it takes for everything to make sense, because this is where the silly part of the equation comes into play. The competition-derived chassis and superb suspension mean devouring town potholes and back road bumps, or perhaps even the odd field, are exactly what this bike was made for. While the excellent brakes mean you can normally get yourself out of any trouble, which you're invariably going to get yourself into. And that 640cc single in there even has a touch of smoothness to it for a big thumper. And it is an absolute cracker as well, with plenty of grunt to play with. Oh, and this motorcycle wheelies for England as well, seeming to balance perfectly happily on one wheel for about as long as you fancy keeping it up, if that's your thing. If it's not, then may I suggest that perhaps this bike isn't for you. If it is, and you know who you are, then you will love absolutely every minute of it. Styling, a very well deserved 8 out of 10. Performance, it's another 8 out of 10. Practicality, 6 out of 10. This is still a supermoto after all. Value, 7 out of 10. It's not all that cheap either.